Well, the penultimate round of the Scottish Ford Fiesta Championship here at Knockhill, the 13th race of the season, and on pole it's Dave Colville, Championship leader. Scott Robertson next to him, then George Orr and Ian Donaldson row 2. Peter Cruikshank's got the XR2 pole with Blair Murdoch alongside him in the ST. Then Wayne McCauley and Craig Taylor, Alex Shaw and Steve Ward on row 5. Row 6, Mike Strong and Michael Jenkins. 7th row, Grant Anderson and Chris Hanna, and the grid completed by George Runcie and Russell Morgan. So just 2 races to go before the end of the season. This one of those, and a 12-lap race in prospect. Red lights coming on. Dave Colville in red, the championship leader. Let's see how well he gets away. It's not bad, but not good enough to beat Scott Robertson. And look at George Orr. George Orr in the black car coming through. But it's Scott Robertson leading, George Orr in 2nd place, Dave Colville from pole down to 3rd, and George Orr, look at that, sails through into lead position. Can he hang on to it as they go down Duffers through Leslie's into Scotsman corner for the first time? And he has held on to it. George Orr leads from Scott Robertson in 2nd. Very close quarter racing between the two in these early stages, and Robertson keen to get back in front. Could still take the championship today, Scott Robertson. He's got 21 points behind Dave Colville, who's got back through into 2nd. Colville through, past Robertson. George Orr leads. Colville, the championship leader, is up into 2nd. That's all he really needs to do in this one, is beat Scott Robertson. Now, in terms of the XR2s, we're looking back from Peter Cruikshank. And now, where is Wayne McCauley? This is the question we need to ask. Wayne in the blue car, down behind there. And that's Craig Taylor in car to bang! Craig Taylor into the back of Peter Cruikshank. Behind them it's Alex Shaw in the 43, so the 2 yellow perils having a pretty good race. Apologies to the 2 drivers, are Josh, of course, as they come up across the line. And Peter Cruikshank, well, the answer is Wayne McCauley's ahead of Peter Cruikshank at the moment. He needs to do that, but Peter Cruikshank realistically only needs to take 3 points from this race. He is 48 points clear in the championship of Wayne McCauley. Wayne having won 3 races so far, one of which was the away round, and Peter Cruikshank having pretty much cleaned up the other ones. So Peter, the veteran of the championship, it's going to be a popular championship win if he can do it. But we're back with the Fiestas up the front of the grid. Ian Donaldson in 4th place at the moment, car number 88. It's followed by Stephen Ward, 55, but they're coming into the hairpin. Dave Colville, I wonder if he's going to be on course for the championship. 21-point lead, 25 points for a race win in the Fiestas. And off goes Michael Jenkins onto the grass. So Michael Jenkins will rejoin. He won't be happy about that. The black and white car back on circuit, but we're going to focus on what's going on in front. Dave Colville in red is still there. And look at that, very defensive line down into Scotsman. And this is the man that he's defending points from. Colville pretty cool in the office. You can see the chasing car of Scott Robertson in the back window. You can see also how much the drivers get buffeted around in the cars. Looks in his mirror, the coolness of Dave Colville, a stark contrast to the scenery whizzing past on the outside of the car. We can see the car behind. Colville keeping a very good look, looks to the outside, not to look to the outside. Changes gear, coming down in towards the tri-oval section here. There he is, that's the red car we're on board with, and he's actually got 2 cars sniffing all over his rear end. Robertson gets a bit snaky coming into the hairpin. Down behind them, Ian Donaldson in 4th. 3-way scrap for 2nd position at the moment. You see the C on the back of Colville's car, on the bottom right-hand side of the window. We've got stationary yellows here. Now, why is that? Stationary yellows, no overtaking here, and Dave Colville will know it. He can almost take a bit of a breather, not quite. Now that's the reason we've got Blair Murdoch off on the circuit on the outside, so hard lines to Blair as this battle goes through. Dave Colville, here he is, look at that, he really, when they say your mirrors are full of a car chasing, you can see the effect that it has on the driver. And Dave very much aware of Scott, not sure how far you have to drive on your mirrors. And Dave's going to be very interested to see this footage after the race, but Robertson's coming through again, and bang, into the side, a little tap, and Dave Colville's fighting the car, keeps it all in. Look how he has to work now, goes from being nonchalant to really having to work to get the car, and Ian Donaldson's come through as well, and Colville's going to be furious about that contact for sure. Colville down to 4th, and the 21-point lead in the championship being eroded away for Dave Colville. There's Wayne McCauley, a superb performance. The XR2s, these top XR2s are so close to the STs. It really does underline what great drivers these are in the XR2s. Wayne McCauley, relative newcomer to the championship. Peter Cruikshank, the veteran, the most experienced driver in the championship, probably I would guess, one of the longest serving drivers for the SMRC currently active. Through the chicane that we go again. McCauley not close enough at the moment to make a challenge. Let's have a quick look at the lap times. Peter Cruikshank with a 63.867, McCauley in the 64s, so he just hasn't quite got it today, Wayne. He has, on his day, been able to equal Peter, but it's the old master who's in front at the moment. Down into the hairpin again. Hard on the brakes, down the gears, turn in now. Cruikshank picking the line that he wants, his optimum line, his favourite line, the good racing line. He continues to pull away. Wayne McCauley goes a little bit wide, a bit of dust being kicked up, and now Dave Colville's back in third. Colville's in third, Ian Donaldson down to fourth. So Colville will pick up some more points here. This is good news for him in terms of the championship. It's going to be 16 points for third place. It's 25 for a win. They'll go to George Orr, by my reckoning, for the third time here at Knockhill this year. And 20 points to Scott Robertson in second place. So Dave Cole, the championship lead will come down to 17 points. Colville still needs to finish the last race of the year in order to secure the championship, so it's not settled, although the battles on circuit here between the top four look as if they are for this race. Robertson flashes through shot. There is Dave Colville. Fourth position, Ian Donaldson. Up over the line goes George Orr. Had a very busy season. The Bruce Taxis backed man. He's of course raced in the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup on the touring car rounds and performed very well there. It doesn't really matter which championship you're racing in. For him, he's a top man in either of them. He's going to prove that with another win. But there is Peter Cruikshank, who is on course by the looks of things for the championship title with a race win. There is absolutely no better way to do it. He's going to get the fastest lap in class as well to add to the pole position. Throws the car into Scotsman corner. Great style from Cruikshank. As you can see, another Ian Cowie prepared car from the number plate. The number 3 machine looking absolutely superb. Down towards Carloop corner. One mistake could gift it back to Wayne McCauley, and of course it would probably still be championship for Peter. Still got that 50-point lead, so the championship is going to be inevitable unless something happens. I'm sure he'd be able to get back on if it did, but we're in the closing stages of this one. And Peter, I know he didn't want us, every time we interviewed him he said don't mention the C word for championship, but I think we probably can now because he's only got one lap to go. Peter Cruikshank, 1.28 miles to go between this and the championship, but it's George Orr leading the race outright at the moment. The black ST going for another win. It's going to be his third win of the season. He's third in the championship, and he will easily consolidate that in this race ahead of Blair Murdoch, who of course has had the non-finish sadly. George Runcie 5th in the table, but George Orr on his way. There is Scott Robertson, who has been a multi-winner. Took 2 wins last time out, and of course 2 wins in the round before that. So this is of course a break in the winning run of Scott Robertson, and what a stunning start it was from George Orr, who came up from 3rd on the grid into the lead, and that was something that he wasn't to relinquish. Gives a bit of a buzz here as he salutes the checkered flag. George Orr takes the win. Scott Robertson second. Dave Colville, championship leader, maintains that with 3rd place ahead of Ian Donaldson. And we wait for Peter Cruikshank, the red XR2, the veteran, is going to win the XR2s and the championship. Cruikshank is the champion. Fantastic, congratulations to him. Well done to Wayne McCauley on keeping him honest throughout the year. He takes 2nd position. Here comes 3rd. 3rd is Grant Anderson, the grey car crossing the line now. Stephen Ward in the red ST from Mike Strong. Then it's Alex Shaw. George Runcie, 5th in the ST championship, comes across the line now. There's Michael Jenkins after he's off earlier on. Chris Hanna goes through, and we wait for Craig Taylor. Here comes Craig in the number 6 car. He will finish in 14th overall, closely followed by Russell Morgan in 37, and that completes our runners do a quick recount of those for you in a minute, but Peter Cruikshank is the 2012 Scottish XR2 champion, but it's George Orr that takes the overall race win from Scott Robertson and Dave Colville. Ian Donaldson 4th, Peter Cruikshank 5th from Wayne McCauley. 7th goes to Grant Anderson from Stephen Ward, Mike Strong 9th from Alex Shaw, George Runcie, Michael Jenkins in 12th. They were followed home by Chris Hanna, Craig Taylor and Russell Morgan. Fastest laps of the race, Scott Robertson and Peter Cruikshank. 2012
Scottish Fiesta XR2 champion Peter Cruikshank, how does that sound?
Fantastic. About 10 years too late, but fantastic nonetheless. All the better for waiting.
And I told you it was going to happen, and you were getting all humpty because you said stop talking about it, but that consistent run, it took you right the way where you needed to be.
Yes, I managed to overcome the curse of the commentator quite happily, thanks.
Now, obviously, you've been in this for a while. How many times have you been runner-up in the championship?
2 or 3 times, and I've been third 2 or 3 times. In fact, pretty much in the last 8 years, I don't think I've ever been out of the top 3 in the championship.
Third place man home, Dave Colville. Dave, you like a challenge, and we said starting from pole position, all you needed to do was stay there to win the championship. Yeah. I know how difficult that is. It sounds easy, it really isn't. And now you're down to 14 points, 1 race to go. Yeah. Oh dear.
It's making it exciting. It's good fun, and the guys have been racing clean all year. We've had a fantastic season, and today I think I finally had the pace to challenge for the lead and win. But Scott drove fantastically. He pulled a great move on me down through Butchers, and I really had to take to the grass to avoid him at the chicane. So it was good fun, and we'll look forward to the next one.
Yeah, all eyes will be on you in the next one, Dave. No pressure. Enjoy.
I'll enjoy it anyway, Joe. Thank you.
Welcome to another episode of Racing No Filter. Joining me in sunny California, Bill Wood, and down in sunny Florida, Peter King.
We're going to take a look at some of the products HPD has created for the 2012 Honda Civic, and specifically we're going to show you how to install an adjustable sway bar.
Until then, folks out there, you take care.
Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new GoRacingTV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
The last race of the season for the Scottish Fiestas, George Orr on pole with Scott Robertson alongside, then Dave Colville and Ian Donaldson. Peter Cruikshank, the new champion, 5th on the grid with Wayne McCauley next to him. Then it's Grant Anderson and Steve Ward. They're followed by Mike Strong and Alex Shaw, with George Runcie and Mike Jenkins completing row 6. 7th row, Chris Hanna and Craig Taylor, and down behind them, Russell Morgan and Blair Murdoch. XR2's settled. Blair Murdoch back out on track. You can see at the back of the field. Good to see him back after his early exit from race 1. And we're going to be focusing on the battle for the STs very much now between George Orr, who moves 2nd in the championship, 261 points, 14 points behind Dave Colville, and away we go. Colville, not the best of starts again. Donaldson's got the better of him on the inside, or up by the pit wall we should say. Peter Cruikshank gets through in the lead of the XR2s. A good look down the order. Alex Shaw in 43 gets away well. The driver who had the contretemps with Craig Taylor is a few cars behind. He'll be keen to try and make that up, but this is the view from the new champion, Peter Cruikshank, the XR2 champion of 2012, leading Wayne McCauley, who's going to be championship runner-up. Through the chicane, McCauley's going to the outside line. The shadow's getting longer here at Knockhill. Looks to the outside, doesn't work for him. They're coming down into Carloop corner. And here's the other view. This is the chaser. Wayne McCauley through on the inside as they go through Hislops. And Wayne McCauley's going to try and get his nose in front. I think he has got his nose in front, so he leads the XR2s. But as they come into the hairpin, Cruikshank's got the line. He'll be harder on the brakes. This is going to be very hard work for Wayne McCauley to try and work his way around the outside. And coming up is Grant Anderson. Anderson takes 2nd, or is it briefly? Because it's a wider sweep for the car on the outside that we're riding on board with. Maybe a little bit more momentum up the hill to take 2nd place, and it's 3 wide for the STs. It's a job to know where to look as they come down Duffer's Dip. Dave Colville on the inside, Ian Donaldson in 88 on the outside. George Orr goes down the escape road, but Ian Donaldson takes a wide line, as he go into Scotsman corner and goes too wide, off onto the gravel. Is he going to get back on? I think he is, but this really takes the pressure off Dave Colville. 14 points between himself and George Orr. Colville could just, if he needs to here, sit behind Orr. We keep saying it about drivers counting their points and sitting back. And none of these guys, of course, by nature would want to do that at any stage of the season. But at the moment, Scott Robertson away. Robertson lost second position in the championship in race number 1. It's that tight between himself and George Orr. Remember, Dave Colville is within striking distance as well. There is Colville in 52. So it's Robertson or Colville, then Peter Cruikshank, followed by Grant Anderson. From him, Wayne McCauley behind him again. Ian Donaldson's going to come through. There must be the temptation to let the STs sometimes go through, but there doesn't seem to be any big clear advantage in performance from the 88 ST to the XR2s that we're looking at. So Cruikshank still in front. Wayne McCauley second place in the STs, in the XR2s at the moment. The Yokohama sponsored championship has given us another terrific year. Let's hope that we can see some more cars out in the STs next year as that one continues to get stronger. McCauley this time takes a wide line. Peter Cruikshank giving him room. Fair driving from Peter Cruikshank, and McCauley is starting to have a go. Blair Murdoch ahead of them. Up across the line they go. Still Scott Robertson from George Orr, and Dave Colville in third place. Colville, if things stay the way they are, will become the 2012 Scottish Fiesta ST champion. Looks like he's done enough at the moment. Mike Strong goes through, down in 10th place. Craig Taylor in the mix as well, but there's Scott Robertson still out front. He's going to be the driver who picks up the most wins this year, and I'm guessing will want to come back and perhaps take the championship next year. George Orr in second. He'd have a good career, of course, in the minis as well. We mentioned that in race number 1. And Dave Colville in third, not being troubled at all. Blair Murdoch up into 4th place. This is going to be a much better drive from Blair here. Well done. And Peter Cruikshank, Wayne McCauley and Ian Donaldson at the moment all squabbling over 6th position. Wayne McCauley goes wide, Cruikshank back up the inside. These two continuing their season-long battle, which has really gone the way of Wayne McCauley. But there is Dave Colville, champion-elect. He's away shy at the moment of George Orr. Let's watch the champion-elect's style as we did in race number 1. Doesn't have to spend too much time looking in the mirrors now. He won't be aware of anybody there. He's got a good gap at the moment. Back to Blair Murdoch in 4th. Got Michael Jenkins, I think, off the circuit there. We saw in the background just flash past as Dave Colville was there. Scott Robertson out of shot, race leader. George Orr second. Dave Colville in third. And this will take his points tally on to 295. Scott Robertson will go back into the championship lead because he gets another 5 points. So he will lead the championship from George Orr, who is running in second place. There's Blair Murdoch. We go back, the XR2's being egged on from the pit wall, and it's Peter Cruikshank still there. So Cruikshank leading the STs again. Ian Donaldson's managed to get past them. So in fact, Blair Murdoch a little bit further down the road. So Blair Murdoch further ahead of this battle, then Ian Donaldson. Front on shot, of course, the white car with the stripes confused. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact there. Peter Cruikshank, the slightest of mistakes. And Wayne McCauley is through. McCauley's through into the XR2 lead. Is it going to be one apiece today? The red, white and blue of Wayne McCauley is up into the lead of the XR2s. Peter Cruikshank second. Third in the moment is still Grant Anderson, but McCauley lifts a couple of wheels going over the curbs. He is determined to finish the season with a win in the older class. And he's got a good gap now, but Peter Cruikshank, well, that slight mistake, he was punished really badly for that, but he's still on the case of Wayne McCauley. Wayne the faster man on circuit at the moment, and he's got the lead as they come up across the line again. Race laps ticking down here, not too far to go now in this one. There is Mike Strong, he's 4th in the XR2s, the red car with the silver stripes. but back with George Orr, who actually isn't too far away from Scott Robertson, the race leader. So it's going to be one apiece for these two, and George Orr still chasing him. See the Forth Bridge in the background here at Knockhill. It's a very, very clear day, and I think everyone's had a superb day's racing. Scott Robertson with second position in race number 1. He's going to share the points on the day with George Orr, coming down into the hairpin and up towards the line where they pick up the last lap board for the last time in the 2012 season. There's Dave Colville, just over a mile to go for Dave Colville, and he will be crowned champion. So it was Cruikshank in race number 1 taking the XR2 title. It looks like the STs is going to go the way of Dave Colville. He's not quite into the territory where he could push the car home yet. In fact, Knockhill, the one place you would want to with the uphill run to the flag, unless you're running in the reverse direction. But here is Scott Robertson. It's going to be another win for him. He's had 4 wins on the bounce coming into this meeting. He was beaten last time out by George Orr and the Cardow & Creameries car. I mentioned the sponsor because they're also involved with Mark Davis in the Ginetta Championship on the touring cars. They were here at Knockhill. Mark suffering a pretty nasty start line crash on that one, but Mark Davis is the Ginetta G50 champion. So they've seen a fair few race wins this year, Cardow & Creameries. Here he comes, the 62 car out of the corner for the last time, and it's going to be another win for Scott Robertson. George Orr will take second, but it's not going to be enough for the championship. Robertson will take second place in the title. And we wait for the champion, Dave Colville, coming up the hill now. Here he is, the 2012 Scottish Fiesta ST Cup winner with Yokohama tyres. Dave Colville takes the title with third position in this race. Scott Robertson second in the championship, George Orr third, and Blair Murdoch fourth in the table. The XR2s have been won by Peter Cruikshank. Wayne McCauley gets the better of him here in this race. You saw him across the line. So let's take a look at confirmation of the result of the last round of the Scottish Fiesta Championship. And it's Scott Robertson who takes the win. George Orr second and fastest lap. Dave Colville, the new champion. Congratulations to him in third place. Blair Murdoch fourth. He takes fourth position in the STs. Behind him, it was Ian Donaldson and Wayne McCauley who wins the XR2 race from Peter Cruikshank, the new champion there. George Runcier, Grant Anderson next from Mike Strong, Stephen Ward and Alex Shaw in 12th place. 13th goes to Chris Hanna, with Craig Taylor third in the championship, finishing 14th, and Russell Morgan in 15th.
Third place, the third place man home, but that's kind of irrelevant because you are the 2012 Scottish Fiesta ST champion, Dave Colville. A mature drive for what I said earlier, a mature man.
Thank you very much, Joe. I was taking it sensible today because I knew the point situation was close, but I didn't need to do too much today. So when I made a mess at the start in the first race, it really wasn't a disaster. But when I dropped to fourth, I was really panicking. So it was great, it was good. When Ian went off, it just made my life very easy. I just backed right off, took it easy. Just coasted home, really. So yeah, good fun.
Well done, Dave. It was great to see because you have been in the Fiestas for a while, and XR2s, and obviously back up in the STs now. And I think we were racing at the same time, and we both used to spur each other on, and finally you've done it, and I'm stood here with a microphone, but congratulations on the result. Really, really well done. Really pleased for you.
Yeah, if I can just say one thing, a huge thank you to Ian Cowie and the whole ICR Motorsport team. They've been brilliant all year. So thanks, guys.
Well done, Dave.
Thank you, John.
That's all we have time for from the 2012 Scottish Fiesta and Scottish Formula Ford Championships. Two great series, both going down to the final race of the year to decide our champions. Season review will be on TV a little bit closer to Christmas, but please join us next season for plenty more exciting action.